MC, make another hit.
This ain't what you want. Project. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. 16 the block. I just wanna rock.
Daddy wanna rock. Daddy wanna rock.
He left.
Okay,
right.
we've already we're exactly 1 minute. Put it back on. Come on.
Start over.
We're not gonna start over. This is all part of it. Frank, put your headphones on for a second.
We didn't even do.
What got you so angry?
You're embarrassing us.
Dude.
So cringe.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the still to be named podcast. Franklin is seconds away from being kicked off because he's violated the noise, he's violated the touching the soundboard, he's violated almost hitting his brother, and we're only 2 minutes into the first episode.
Yeah.
All right, now,
All right.
Frank, I played that song because I knew that you liked it.
All right. Well,
but
let's introduce ourselves.
all right, well,
My
okay,
name.
hold on, you're not the host.
Nah.
On the host microphone, Keith Wyckoff, a.k.a. Dad, a.k.a. the Enforcer, a.k.a. the contract holder, a.k.a. the referee.
Okay.
Now, on this podcast, on this first podcast, we have just the three of us. Mom is out, and it's me and the two boys.
She'll be in soon.
To my left, we have...
I'm Lincoln Wyckoff, and I'm probably the one who's probably going to be talking.
All right, so Lincoln, why don't you take like 20, 30 seconds to tell everybody who you are, what you're about.
I like basketball. I love to eat food, like all kinds. If you put food in front of me, I'll probably eat it. And I love watching sports like football, baseball, basketball, surfing. I surf, play trumpet, and yeah.
Okay, I can attest to all those things. And to his left, we have the youngest of the Wyckoff crew.
And
Franklin Wyckoff.
Franklin Wyckoff. Now, Franklin, how old are you?
8.
8 years old. I wonder who the youngest person on a podcast is.
I don't know, but wait, hold on. I forgot to say my age. I'm 11 years old. I'm in 5th grade.
Okay, we're on to Franklin now. Franklin, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you like?
Sports and activities.
Now, believe it or not, Franklin is probably the most outgoing out of all of us. Well, he's definitely the most outgoing out of the three of us here.
But he's
It would be a tie between him
and Mom.
on who is the most outgoing. So hopefully during this podcast we'll get to see that.
Yeah, we will.
Now,
Maybe like
what the
5%.
audience needs to know is before we started this first podcast, we were going to come up with a podcast name. We still have to decide on that.
I have a name.
But, well, it's not your name. It's going to be our name that we have to discuss. But before we came on here, what did I do?
You said we had to come up with topics.
Well, yeah, but after that, what did I do?
The contract.
The contract,
So
right.
You made us sign a contract that you can't break any rules, and
Well,
yeah.
hold on.
And if you hear us like making noise like this,
So there was a lot of
then
things. The
that's-
contract was about respecting the other people on this podcast. The podcast was about not getting angry. The podcast was about being able to disagree and not want to kill somebody. And you know why I made that contract? Because that contract, while it is about this podcast, that could be about any walk of life, whether it's a job, a friendship, a relationship, a marriage.
Dad, we don't have to talk about this.
We do. Okay, because
People
it's
don't wanna hear.
very no, they do. It's very important. Okay, and it's very genuine to our current situation. So we've all signed it. Mom has not signed it yet. There are expectations, there are consequences, and there are parent expectations. And you guys have basically agreed to be respectful of one another. I have agreed to keep you two safe, and the consequences are, man, they're pretty steep.
Like, we play basketball, and if we do something bad, we could have like a couple days off the podcast and not able to play a couple games of basketball.
Yep.
I don't think it will get
possible,
that bad. But
possible suspension of an episode of the podcast, possible.
lifetime ban from the podcast.
Well, that would be really. I mean, you'd have to do something really bad
Like,
for that.
like maybe like breaking the podcast on purpose. Like breaking the thing.
Yeah, there's electronic consequences. No Nintendo, no cell phone, no laptop, no Oculus,
No.
and extracurricular activities like you brought up. No basketball, stuff like that. But listen, we don't even want to get close to that.
We won't.
Okay, so our format, I think, at least for the start, is I'd like for each one of us to come to the podcast with a topic. And we've all agreed that the topic might not exactly be what we want to talk about that day.
Yep.
But maybe you have a topic that someone else doesn't want to talk about. But I think what we do is we each come up with a topic and we'll discuss each one of those topics for 10 minutes or so and have a good conversation. And I think what'll happen is we'll learn a lot about each other and the audience will learn a lot about us. That's the whole point. Okay. And
can we be funny?
Yeah, you can be funny. We all have very unique personalities. We're all known for different things, but I know that each one of us are special, smart, intelligent, and I think the combination of the 3/4 when Mom's here, it will be funny. Okay? Now, I do want you to know that you're allowed to be funny,
But like not like
but
bad funny. Like I mean like inappropriate funny.
well, you're gonna be funny, and when you say something funny, I might do a. And when there's something that's not funny, I might go. Or
There's a corn.
and just to when you guys are gonna get disciplined.
Yep.
You're gonna get mean, Daddy.
Ah. Okay,
Nobody wants mean, Daddy.
okay, fine. We won't do anything.
All
But
right?
so can we like do kind of like a joke of the day and maybe because when we went with our papa this morning, our grandpa, he said that he heard that we had a podcast and he wanted to be a caller.
Oh, well, that is something that we can do. We can absolutely call somebody from my phone because it's linked into the podcast, and it'll be really funny.
Yeah.
Now, what I think is, you brought up a good point about like a joke. When it's your turn, like when it's like when it's your segment, when I
Yeah.
go, hey, Lincoln, it's your topic, you could take that opportunity to say, hey, I want to start off with a funny joke.
Okay.
Okay? So here's what we're going to do. If we all agree, I think we're going to start with Franklin. Franklin's going to talk about, you don't want to? Okay. All right. Change of plan. We're going to start with Lincoln, and then we're going to go to Franklin, and then I'm last. So, Lincoln, you're up.
All right. So I've been thinking about a topic, and I got a few, but this one that I chose. Some people in the listening might not know some of these restaurants, but what is your favorite restaurant? And it could be a fast food, but a rule is you have to give 2 or 1 honorable mentions.
Okay.
So I'll start. My honorable mentions are Capitol Grill, which is a place. I think they're like, aren't they in like New York, Dad? Like
Capitol Grill is, I mean, literally, probably in every major city.
Yeah, so like you might have been there. Good food, good steak, good burgers, mac and cheese.
So can I add
Yeah.
to your thing? So Capitol Grill, I would agree. What's interesting about Capitol Grill is a chain, okay? Which means there's a ton of them out there. And typically, when a steakhouse becomes a chain, they go downhill. Me and your mother used to love this place in Philly called Morton Steakhouse.
Is that? No.
I think the first time we ever went to one was in Boston, I believe. And we would have told you at that point it was like the best steakhouse in the world. And then another company bought it, and it was like, wow, crash and burn. So I would agree with you. I love still going to Capitol Grill.
Yeah, Capitol Grill.
What do you like eating at Capitol Grill?
My burger and my lobster mac and cheese. But the thing, I like their bread, the starting, but they probably buy it. But the thing why I said Capitol Grill is is because sometimes Capitol Grill can be good, sometimes it can be mid, sometimes it can be bad. When we went to New York City, we went to Capitol Grill. It was like the mid. It was like my burger wasn't the best. The lobster mac and cheese was not like, I don't know, and it just wasn't the bet. And like, Dad, didn't you say like your steak or your ribeye wasn't really that good?
Yeah, I would agree. My steak had virtually no flavor to it. It almost seemed like it was cooked a half an hour earlier and then heated up. And then it wasn't typically what we're used to. And I think it's because we went so late. I think that they were like,
We went at like 8.
that's when our reservation was like 8:30.
We came like 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
That's why Capitol Grill. And my second honorable mention, I'm going to give it to... This is hard. All right. Honorable mention, I can't decide, but I'm just going to go right to my favorite. It's Carluccio's Cold Fire Pizza. There's only one location, and it is in Northfield, New Jersey. It's like not the. It's like one of the probably my top 2 best pizzas I've ever tasted. Good pasta, good meatballs, good a lot of things, and they have like every time you come in there, like it's almost like the workers like know who you are. Like,
Well, that's because they do. They do know us because we go there
2 times a week,
50 times a year, and
it's good.
I would agree with you. While it's not on my list.
It's not on your list?
Well, okay, it's an honorable mention because what I think is ironic about it.
Dad, you're telling like them like your favorite like things already. You
No,
should
I'm
wait for
not.
your turn.
I'm not. I haven't mentioned either one of my favorite things. Carluccio's is spectacular. Me and your mother have eaten at some very, very expensive Italian restaurants. We've eaten at some, and I'm holding up quotes, old-fashioned, like prime Italian places. And I will tell you that the dish that I get, which is that, what dish does that get?
And the gnocchi with
Yeah,
the
the stuffed.
pesto.
That stuffed pesto gnocchi is the best Italian dish I've ever eaten.
I got that. That was my first thing that I've ever tried at Carluccio's, and it came out first, and I put it right in my mouth, and it was excellent. And
the pizza. Now,
the pizza's good.
I'll tell you what, I don't think I've eaten. No, you know what? That's a lie. I was going to say, I didn't think I have eaten anything other than the Sicilian type, but I did because one time Franklin got a white pizza
Same, I ate one of them.
and I ate a piece of that, and that was good. But the Sicilian pizza,
He's like probably the
whether
best
it's
Sicilian.
the honey buffalo chicken,
That's the
whether
best flavor.
it's the grandpa's, which has got a mixture of like 3 or 4 different cheeses and honey, or the grandma's, or the pepperoni one. I mean, it is out of this world. I could eat Carluccio's pizza probably every single day.
And like, if I could have any restaurant in my backyard, like, or in my house, and say like I could have like for every meal, Carluccio's would be the meal.
Yeah.
But
All right, so Frank, what is your favorite restaurant?
wait, you got to start with honorable mention.
He doesn't have to. I mean, he could list some things that are like didn't make the number one, but I'm curious what Franklin's number one is.
Like,
Yeah.
I have 3 honorable mentions:
Okay.
Huh?
Capitol Grill, Carluccio's, and Kitchen Consigliere.
So those are your 3, like, not your first place, but
Like,
Yeah.
Carluccio's is second. Capitol Grill is third, and Kitchen Consigliere is fourth.
what's funny?
Kitchen Consigliere was gonna be one of my honorable mentions, but I don't know. They just felt. I feel like
Guess what? We still have a $100 gift card that we could go and eat there.
we can go tonight, but we already have food out.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna make our own Italian feast tonight.
Yay!
But Franklin, I gotta tell you, the only reason that you like Kitchen Consigliere is because of the desserts,
Oh yeah, the desserts are like probably the best thing there.
right?
And they're known as an Italian restaurant. The brookie is the best dessert I think I've ever gotten at a restaurant.
Franklin either eats a brookie or a piece of chocolate cake that's the size of his head.
The brookie is the best dessert I've ever had.
All right. Well, I'm curious though. What's your favorite?
Brownies hot.
No, what's your favorite restaurant?
What's your favorite? You can move one of your honorable mentions up to the favorite.
I don't know. I think. Let's see. So. I don't.
Like I said, you could make one of the ones that was the honorable mention your favorite, but I would think
I know, but
really
then.
hard about. Do you want me to go and come back to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Just think about it.
And then. No, how about I come last and then Lincoln comes second?
No, I already went.
Lincoln's already gone.
Wait, what did you say was your favorite?
Carluccio's.
Carluccio's was his
You said
favorite.
that was your honorable mention.
No, that was
No,
his favorite.
That was my favorite.
His honorable mention was
Capitol Grill.
Capitol Grill.
And Kitchen Consigliere.
Yeah. So I'll go.
Same things.
I would agree with both of you in the sense that Capitol Grill is a great like standby. Like it's in my opinion, it's always good, and it's really nice that we have one at Cherry Hill, so we don't have to go into the city. Kitchen Consigliere, out of this world. I could eat there.
You could?
Literally. Oh, I'm sorry, Carluccio's. Carluccio's, out of this world. I could eat there every single day. My only problem is I eat the same thing over and over again because it's so good, and I'm afraid that something else is not going to be as good.
That's what I want to order something, and I think it'd be great, but I don't want to order anything but my bolognese. That's what I
Well,
get.
why don't we do this? Why don't we make a bet? Next time we go, why don't we each order something different?
Nah.
All right. All right. So
Maybe. I'll think about it.
those are my 2, but I have a tie. Well, no.
A tie.
Another honorable mention
Yep.
is a place that we ate at in Chicago called RPM Steak.
Oh.
It was phenomenal, but I want to leave enough time for my number one.
Yep.
My number one
Predicting it.
is, and I want to look up the, hold on one second. I should have done better.
I can't believe, is Barclay Prime your number one spot? I can't believe you don't have that on there if it's not your number one.
It is not my number one.
What? I'm
So
sure.
my number one is a little place at 3424 Peachtree Road, Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I heard of this.
It's called New York Prime. Now, let me tell you when I went to this restaurant the first time. I went to a material handling convention, and it was in Atlanta. And when you go to these things, you have like vendors that take you out to dinner. And when the vendor said, "Oh, I'm going to take you to a steakhouse called New York Prime," when you hear something like New York Prime, you go, "Okay, it's like sounds like a chain. Sounds like it's New York Prime. How good is New York Prime going to be?" I went, and I got to tell you, I have never eaten. I can't even explain it. I've never eaten a steak as good in my entire life.
Really?
And yes, I'm pulling up so I'll tell you exactly what I got for my meal. Thick cut bacon, yum. Crab cake, yum. Crab cake was not as good as
Capital Grills.
Capital Grills. But then
Capital Grills tough to beat.
I got their 22 ounce, 28 day dry aged ribeye.
Whoa.
And what's weird is it says on their menu that they serve it Pittsburgh style, which has a very charred exterior. But it's not like, it doesn't taste burnt. I gotta tell you, when I put that steak in my mouth, unbelievable. And I've been there 3 times now. All 3 times I've got that steak. Every time it's out of this world.
Wait,
I'd love to
which-
take you guys to Atlanta to like go to like an aquarium or something like that.
Or see the Hawks.
Yeah, we could do that. And take you to that
Yum.
restaurant. So that is my
Straight
number one, New York Prime Steakhouse, Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually outside of Atlanta. Unbelievable. Now, Franklin, have you thought at all about? No,
No.
No, I don't have a favorite.
No. well,
Dunkin' Donuts.
just say like what's your highest honorable mention? Carluccio's?
Yeah, like if you had to put it on it right now, like what's your favorite place to eat at?
They're all good. I can't decide.
Wait, you
What's
said-
your favorite? Like if I said right now, hey, we're gonna go out to dinner, we can go wherever Franklin wants. Where would you go? If you could just snap your fingers and be there instantly.
Carluccio's? Come on.
Come on, dude.
Once music's gone, you're
You got it? Man, you don't know where you'd want to go tonight? All right.
Carluccio's. We're just gonna put it at Carluccio's because he had that as number 2 spot.
Yeah. So right now we'll say it's to be determined
And if-
or
and if-
Carluccio's.
And if you have like your favorite and you figure it out on another podcast, or like at the end of this one, just like tell us.
All right.
But if we're in a topic though,
All right. Good topic, Link.
thanks.
Franklin, what topic do you want to discuss? You said you already had one.
I brought a whole paper.
Well, just pick one.
Well, just pick. Well, we already talked about them. I thought you came up with a new one.
What new one?
You had talked about that you had a new topic that you wanted to talk about on the
Like,
first
I didn't
podcast.
have a new
No,
topic.
Franklin, if you had 10 seconds to think of any topic you would want to talk about,
I made 9 topics.
well then
All right,
choose
well,
one.
pick one of them.
Animals.
Animals. Okay, what about animals? What are we doing with them? Is it our favorite animal? Is it the animal we're the most scared of? Is it if we could come back as any animal?
If
Any
You-
animal's a pet?
you had 5 animals as your pet, what would they be?
Can I go first?
You can also like choose like back in the day like woolly mammoth.
All right, all right. Can I go first?
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that I'm going to assume that because I have them as a pet, they're not going to kill me. All right. Number 1, rhinoceros.
Man, what?
Every time I look at a rhinoceros, I go, that thing looks like an ancient prehistoric.
Animal.
Sorry, we had to take a little break. So I started with rhinoceros. Rhinoceros definitely, because every time I look at that thing, I just go, this thing looks like a battle armor tank. Number 2, absolutely an apatosaurus. The thing is so big, I can't even imagine what it would look like in person. Number 3, woolly mammoth. Why woolly mammoth? Because I already know what an elephant looks like, and I've seen one in person. I'd like to see a woolly mammoth. I think the woolly mammoths are actually bigger. They're supposed to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the big.
Number 4, controversial one, because they also kill lots of people. Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus is just so big. I'd love to swim with a hippopotamus.
They'll kill you.
But remember, I started with saying, like, I'm just going to assume that these things aren't going to kill me. Any of these animals could kill me. And number 5, I'm going to say, see, I have no interest in like cats, like lions and tigers and stuff like that. I would say number 5, I would go with a triceratops.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, are these animals that you can bring that you would like see?
They're animals that you'd have pets. They could be from any time. They could be extinct.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, so I'm going to start from 5 to 1. My 5, I've always wanted to see a pterodactyl.
Very cool.
Because when I used to watch like those dinosaur shows like on YouTube where like they're from like Discovery, and the pterodactyl would look like big, and like I just would like to see it in person fly, you know.
I don't know why none of you are like picking like now pets. You can pick like a dog.
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
It's not like
Number 4, I'm gonna pick a dog dog would be my number 1 spot, but I'm just gonna pick animals that like, yeah, like those kind of animals that you
like
could.
it's
All right,
not
so
like
hold
what
on.
would you have least to greatest. It's just that like top.
All right, so
I get it.
Pterodactyl.
Yep.
Number 4. I want to see a zebra.
Okay.
Zebras look cool, and
But you've seen a zebra at the zoo. You want one as a pet?
yeah, like I just wanted to like go up close. And
All right.
number 3, like Dad said, let's just assume it won't kill me. A raptor,
Okay.
because I think they'd be helpful for some things. Number 2.
As soon as I see your raptor, I go, run for your life. It's coming right for us.
That's what I do when
No,
I
but,
see your
like, the
hippopotamus.
But like all your pets are like highly trained not to kill.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Okay. All right.
My number 2, I'm going to pick. Can these be? I'm gonna pick a dolphin.
A dolphin. Okay.
I like if I had a huge tank, I'd just put like 2 dolphins in there.
Now, before you do your number 1, can I make a suggestion real quick?
Yeah.
This is very controversial. People listening will think that I'm a horrible person,
No.
but I've told you
What?
that you will never have a dog.
Nah.
No.
Now, so when you're doing your list, I can't believe you only have 1 spot left. Are you getting a dog, bro?
I said this is like animals that like no one would expect I would have. The dog is still the number 1 spot, but all right, well, guys, the dog is number 1, like the other thing, but
All right,
something that'd be
what's your number
cooler.
one?
A
What's your number 1 then?
dog. It would be. This is hard. Switch it. I want a dolphin. I want a dolphin. The 1 at the 2. At a 2, there's gonna be a dog. Because my honorable mention is a buffalo.
All right.
That was hard list.
So Franklin, it's up to you now. Let me hear your 5.
So at the 5, I really will want to have a panda for some reason.
Panda's a good one.
Because then they can like
They're cute and cuddly.
snuggle and like
You know,
play with them.
you know what's funny though? We think of panda, we think it's cute, it's snuggly. We think of Poe, right. But you realize a panda, all he does all day long
Sit down.
is
butt.
eat bamboo and literally poop out bamboo all day long.
Wait,
No, well, they play. I see the video. Of they like play with each other, and they don't like just. But
Lincoln.
they're not active really.
you can add this on your list, But I'm surprised you didn't pick a chimp.
Dude, I don't want no parts of a chimp. A chimp will rip your face off.
Chimps stink. They fart.
Lincoln said Lincoln. All right.
All right, so you got a panda.
At
But chimps
number
are cute.
4.
I like chimps.
Number 4. I'm gonna go with a gorilla.
A gorilla's a good choice.
He's like, if like I have to carry heavy things, it can just carry.
Do you realize how strong a gorilla is?
A gorilla could pick up dad.
A gorilla would literally come down here and a gorilla would take that weight set right there and probably just grab it and pull it over. I mean, their strength is out of this world.
I'm sure he could throw Franklin like
Oh
about
my God.
20 yards.
He'd throw Franklin over the house. He'd throw me over the house. A gorilla, we joke about it. A gorilla could like rip my arm off of my
Yeah.
entire body and beat all of us to death with it.
But this gorilla
is a
is
nice
a
one.
cute one.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the one that's what's the movie with the Rock?
Mighty Joe Young.
Is it? What's
No,
the-
it's I forget.
Godzilla.
It's the one with the white.
Nah,
it's the one with
it's the one with the white one.
White girl.
where he's like nice and then he gets really mean and then he's nice again. Oh well. All right, Frank, what's your next one?
My third one. I will go with a penguin.
I was gonna say penguins is one of my honorable mentions with the buffalo.
Penguin. Okay. All right.
Except
Because I feel-
you've had to have a really really cold habitat for a penguin.
Because like I feel like when we're like swimming, I feel like I can swim with it and play in the if I have
Okay.
a pool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
he can catch fish for you.
All right, what's your next one?
Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. I will.
Number
Come
2. What is it?
Number 2.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
We already have dads left.
I will pick a polar bear.
Polar bear's a good one. Polar bears are gigantic.
But
Because then,
the
like-
polar bears are
You know the ones that we see the ones you see out in the wild, they're like 10 foot tall.
yeah.
Because then I
crazy.
feel like
They're taller. They're like that.
the polar bear can have like a gorilla friend. And at number 1, I will have.
Listen to these facts about a polar bear real quick.
Okay.
It says average male polar bear can weigh in excess of 1,700 pounds.
1,700.
1,700 pounds. And are 8 to 10 feet tall. That means the top of
That
their
will-
head is at an NBA basketball hoop level.
So
Think about how big Embiid looks in person. Embiid is 7 foot,
and he looks huge. And look at
280 pounds.
and look at
Imagine
Bill.
seeing a 10 foot, 1,700 pound animal.
well,
All right, Frank, what's your number 1?
My number 1. I think I'll get a just like I'll just I'm thinking of a sloth or a chimp.
Dude, think of all the dinosaurs, all the things you've ever seen at the zoo, all the things you've ever seen on TV.
just pick. We're here. We've been here.
Lincoln,
I'm about
I'm
to pick
thinking.
We're about to skip you and go to dad
I will pick
next.
a
20,000, 20,001, 20,002, 20,003,
Come on.
20,000,
I will pick
Just pick something you like. Doesn't have to be like
20,008.
stop.
Okay.
I don't know. There's so much animals and there's so much to do with them.
All right. Well, you got 4, and I think that's good enough right now.
Yeah.
All right. So we've already discussed some good topics for the first podcast, our favorite restaurants.
And Dad's the only one left.
What pets we would have if we could have any pets, which I thought was a pretty interesting topic. I'm going to come up with something a little bit more
Like,
thought-provoking.
no.
All right. And I want to tell you that my topic is because when it comes around to my turn, I get to explain myself a little bit. So here is what I want you guys to discuss. I want to know what kind of dad you want to be.
Oh,
Now, we're going to assume that you're going to get married one day and you're going to have a kid, 2 kids, maybe 3 kids. And I want to know when that day happens, what kind of dad you want to be.
I want to be a.
Lincoln, you want to go first?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to be like that dad that's like when like my daughter or son has like an event and we have to leave like right away because I have like a meeting or I'm too hooked on work and like a boring dad that's always on the phone call for work or like always working at the dinner table. I'm not saying that you do that, but or like a dad that just doesn't really spend time with the kid. I would want to be like a funny dad and like kind of like, I'm putting this in quotes, a cool dad. Like, just
How do you be a cool dad? I'm curious. Like, what do you
just-
think would make you a cool dad?
just like yeah,
Is-
like
is
be
it-
like funny and like you can like be good at sports with the kid or something like that, and you do like all of those things. That makes you a cool dad. And I wouldn't want to like spoil my kids, which I probably will.
Wait a minute. You think I'm a cool dad?
Yeah.
Let it keep going. Thank you.
And yeah, like that, the funny and like in quotes cool dad. Like,
All right.
yeah.
What about if your kid's bad?
If my kid's bad, I'm just gonna probably just send him to a class where he'll get better, or talk to him. Like, no, I'll talk to him before, and then like if he's like gets like really bad, and like a teenager that's like not always grumpy, I'm just gonna send him to a class, and he'll learn.
Okay. All right. Anything else do you want to be known as when you're a father? Do you want to be a father when you grow up? Do you want to have kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to have 4.
4 kids. Wow.
2 boys, 2 girls, and
And a partridge in a pear tree?
and a puppy.
And a puppy? All right.
The bulldog.
So Franklin, what kind of dad do you want to be? First off, do you want to be a dad?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of kids do you want to have? How many?
2
2?
or 4.
2 or 4? Okay. And if you could have it any way, what would the kids be? Boy, girl, all boys, all girls?
So if I have 2, boy and girl. And then if I have 4, boy, boy, girl, girl.
Okay, so you want it to be even.
Yeah.
So what kind of dad do you want to be?
I want to be like those dads, like when like they do like when they do something bad and they really don't like mean it, like they didn't mean to do it. Like I won't be like I won't like yell at them and make them feel like bad about themselves. I'll just be like, just say, well, you know what you did and don't do it again.
What if they keep doing it?
And they keep doing it, they have to fill out a chart for each day, and every time they have a good day, they get like 1 minute of like playing time or something.
And what if they said, hey, Dad, you could take that chart and shove it in your mouth and swallow it because I'm a bad kid? What would you do?
I'll just say, like, I want to be like those nice dads like you and,
You think I'm a nice dad?
yeah.
Thank you. Guys, calm down. Thank you.
And, like, if they say that, then I'll probably just be, like, give them a consequence. Like,
All right.
they don't have technology for 2 days or something.
Okay. Well, I think you guys gave both good answers. Now, what's fun about this is I am your father, and I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to tell you what kind of dad I want to be.
You already are, Dad.
I know, but I think sometimes I do things and you're not sure why. But I want to explain to you. I'm going to take like 2 minutes to explain to you what kind of dad I want to be.
Which you probably are already.
So I think when you look at people in general and you interact with people, there are a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that mean good and have good spirits. And every once in a while you run across somebody who's
Like-
lost or mean or bad. You don't understand why. Really mean adult or really, and it's usually because of the experience that they've had in their life. So
like their parents were like very strict and like they really didn't let them do anything.
well, that's a possibility. Or they could have parents that weren't involved in their life, or parents that were verbally or physically abusive to them, and all that stuff is really bad. But here's what I know about life so far. I'm 42, right? 42 years old. Life can be very hard,
Yeah.
and you're going to run into situations that
Or hard?
are hard and really test you. So when I think about being a father, first and foremost, I want to be loving and caring
You
and
already are.
and provide for you guys, meaning like when you guys need stuff, whether it's actual things like food, clothes,
You can do that.
or
Medicine.
intangible things like love, comfort. I want to do those things. But it's also my job to put you through a little bit of fire, because I work and I am with a lot of people every day, and I see people every day that cannot handle normal life stuff, normal
like
responsibilities.
just like people.
Just doing their job or being a nice person or being able to like disagree with somebody. Like that in itself is an art. You can disagree with somebody and not get into an argument or not hate the person. Like for instance, if I said, "Oh, I like mint chocolate chip ice cream," and you said, "Oh my God, I hate mint chocolate chip ice cream," I could go, "Well, you know what? I'm never talking to you again because you don't like what I like."
But that's your opinion, and you can't
Exact-
tell
Yeah, like-
you that
like
your
for-
opinion's wrong.
Like for
then.
example,
Exactly.
I like LeBron. Obviously, he's my favorite athlete,
All right, I think he's a bum.
and like people disagree, and like people I see like every time I see an Embiid video, and in the comments every video, everyone's hating on him, and like everyone. I see one comment that's like, "Oh, well, yeah, he can't play basketball. Yeah, stop getting injured." Or like, yeah, like, or like Anthony Davis, he always gets injured. Everyone,
What you're talking about is
disagrees.
haters, but what I'm talking about is just like disagreeing. In other words, if I were to go, "Hey, Lincoln, I think LeBron is a bum. I think
he's
he's the
not.
worst player ever."
Well, I can't tell them
If
that
I
their
thought
opinion's
if
wrong.
I thought that and you thought opposite, it's okay with going, "All right, I understand that you feel that way, but it shouldn't affect the way you think about me."
it doesn't. But
Well, that's
LeBron
good.
isn't a bum.
But that's good. Right. And I'm
That's
half
what you-
and I'm half joking.
Liam, that's what you think.
But I think every day people get so wrapped up being tribal thinking about what they like and what they think. And if someone thinks differently than them, they just don't even want to, So to get back to what I was saying is I want to teach you guys that everybody has different likes and you have to coexist and learn how to deal with them. Because one day you might be a boss and you have to work with a bunch of people that might think differently. One day you might have kids that think differently and you're going to have to live with all of them. The next type of dad I want to be is I want to be a fun dad. I want to take you guys places. I want you guys to swim in the ocean, surf, play basketball. I want you to do all that stuff. And I'd say the final thing, so we got, wanting you guys to love me and each other, wanting you guys to be able to disagree with people, wanting you guys to have fun. I want you guys to really understand that you can really make a difference and you could really change someone's entire day with the type of person that you are. That doesn't mean that you're walking around with a smile on your face all day. It doesn't mean that you're walking around being charitable, throwing dollars at everybody. It means that the people that you interact with, they know where you stand, they know how you feel, and they genuinely believe that you want what's in their best interest. So that's the kind of dad I want to be.
And that will probably do it, right?
Well, we can.
Franklin is just looking to get out of here.
No, I just want to see how the
We
video
are-
ends up.
We are at 47 minutes.
But wait, I have something else.
No, I just want to see how the video goes.
Yeah. So sometimes we might talk about stuff like that's in the beginning that some of our viewers might not like, and some of our viewers might not like athletes, or viewers might not like restaurants that we like, or like topics. But we will probably in the podcast we will talk about mostly everything that most of you guys like.
Do you know what I want to get out of this podcast the most?
Yeah.
I want the people who are listening to us, whoever those hundreds of thousands of people are, I want them to learn something new about us every day. And I want to learn something new about you guys every day. And I think the more that we talk like this, the more we'll learn.
So, comment, down below what you want us to talk about, what next topic you want to
That's a good idea,
talk
Frank.
about.
Maybe there's not even are we going to be on, what are we going to be on?
So
Spotify?
what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to put these on YouTube where I'll come up with a background and it'll just be us talking. And so people will be able to comment, tell us what kind of topics they want us to talk about. Maybe they'll have questions. Maybe what we talked about right now, maybe they'll go, oh, you know what? That kid Franklin, I want to know more about him. He said this something and I want to ask him a question. Or they might say, ooh, Lincoln likes the same food I like.
And we will be reading probably most of the comments. And I know there will probably be haters saying oh yeah, you guys are not good. We will not be listening, and we won't even look at those.
Yeah, you know what though? The haters, you know what the haters sound like? The haters sound like this.
Oh, I don't like what you guys talk about. I would do this differently. I'm so much better than you. Blah, 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 blah.
But
you don't want to listen to the haters.
Yeah, but it's just, but all right, I guess that will wrap up our first podcast. And if there's a comment section, leave down if you want to see a podcast with Dad and Franklin, Lincoln and Dad, or Mom and Dad and Mom, or if you want to see a sports podcast, because I love sports.
If you guys want to comment and tell us what kind of topics you'd like us to talk about, I think we'll probably do a multitude of things here. I think we'll call in people. Like, we could
call some people.
We could call some people, have them on the podcast. We could.
What kind of people? Like people
Like,
we know?
Yeah,
People
like,
we know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
People we don't.
family.
Like, we might
and
have-
if we get really big, then maybe we can like have like
We could have Aunt Stephanie
Brady.
on. We could have Pop. We
Mama.
could have Grandma, Mom. We could do all these things, and but when we call them, we'll ask them like a simple question, or maybe we're in a lock, like we're disagreeing on something, and we're like, you know what? Let's call Mom and see what she thinks. But on to the next one. So this is the end of podcast number 1. We are still yet to be named. We have to come up with a podcast
comment
name.
down below what you think our name is and our work. And if you didn't hear in the beginning, our last name is Wyckoff. If you're using that, and I'm thinking about adding a new podcast, sports, our own
And-
sports center.
That should do it. I'm Franklin Wyckoff.
I'm Lincoln Wyckoff.
And I am Daddy Wyckoff, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.